Hello, before I begin stage 36 I just want to inform you of a change I've made. This is, I don't know, I'm really not happy with this build. So I picked up the FIAT, put it on the table. It's been sitting on the shelf for a whole month because this is the first issue of a new pack, and I noticed that as I put it on the table it was rocking, and then I noticed that this particular wheel, the side that we did last issue, this suspension had come completely out. So I went through all the instructions, just check I can place this way, and it was a BM screw had fallen out. So I found a spare BM screw, I popped it in, it just would not stick. I tried and tried and tried, and I thought maybe the metal has threaded. You know, I've had problems with screws earlier in the build. So what I did was I tried different screws, and I found that this CM screw is fatter, and then so I put the CM screw in, didn't expect it to work, but it actually worked really well. It cut itself a new thread in there, and this wheel was absolutely fine, but it then didn't quite sit right, and I assume it's maybe they're a different length, maybe one's bitten in a little bit more than the other. So what I've done is I've taken this BM screw out of this one, and then I've put a CM screw in that one as well, and that seems to have done the job. As you can see, it doesn't rock. If I try different sides of my table, because my table's not actually level, but there are other problems with this build. These wheels aren't going around freely. These are very loose. So, and I feel like I've gone too far into the build to stop it now, but in terms of the working parts, I will be honest with you, I'm not 100% happy. Once it sits on the shelf as a display model, I'm sure it will look absolutely fantastic, and that's why I'm continuing this build. But I'll be honest with you, up to stage 35 I'm not recommending this build. I'm sorry to be so negative, but that's my honest thoughts on it. I did actually start this build with a friend of mine, Fleetwood J, and I understand he's having problems, but his problems tend to come more from the customer service side. So as it stands at this moment, I also had a screw problem up here. I think one of these screws was having trouble. I actually super glued it in the end, and that fixed it. So there has been an unusually high number of problems, but the actual detail, as you can see, is fantastic. So anyway, look, I've waffled on far too long. Let's get on with stage 36. What more could possibly go wrong? So welcome to stage 36, the rear right wheel arch, and this looks like it's going to be very similar to the previous stage, which I can't even remember anymore because it's been a month since we did it. So let's have a look at the parts. So 36A, we have the right rear wheel arch. We've got a great big R there, and I must confess this bodywork finish is superb. I'm loving the colour. So obviously I did go on about the problems before the build started, but it's such a lovely, there's so much calling you to continue. So 36B, and I can't get this part out, I'm going to have to use tweezers. So this is the ignition coil, and that's quite nicely painted. That is almost perfect. But that's really nice. I'm happy with that piece. And 36E, C is a high voltage cable, so maybe don't touch this with metal tweezers, because there's a high voltage. Just joking, guys. So then we have 3 packs of screws. Now I'm slightly confused because we have got, okay, I am really confused now. This actually came with the pack, CP and IP screws, and it's not listed in the magazine, and it's broken. So I can see straight away that's broken. So I don't know what that is. So I'm going to put that to one side and I'll investigate it later. So we have a pack of BM screws, and there are 6 in there, and there should be 6. 4, it actually says, wow, the order is wrong, M2 by 4mm, 4 plus 2 pieces, so maybe 2 spare. The next up is GM screws, and there's 3 of those. It says 1.7 by 4, 2 plus 1, and DP screws 1.7 by 5, 5 plus 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3 left over. Right, so I'm going to take a little bit of a pause. I will see you in a second where we will start the build. Okay, so I have checked the instructions, and I don't know what this is. It doesn't seem to be, I don't even think it's part of, I don't know, maybe it is part of the Fiat. I'm looking at these CP screws, and they actually look the same, so maybe it is part of the Fiat. So guys, if you recognize those parts, the trouble is, that's obviously broken. You can see there's a broken part, but if I ask for a replacement part, they're going to say what issue, and I'm going to go, don't know. So we'll see what happens. So what we need to be doing then for the right wheel arch, we need to first of all, we need the actual Fiat. So secure the right wheel arch 36A to the chassis over the right rear wheel with 2 BM screws. So let's have a look at this now. I'm right, I'm going to do this in a slightly different order. So if you are doing this, there we are. So what it's asking us to do is install this wheel arch, which is going to go on, I can't help thinking this is wrong. There we go. So the wheel arch is going to go on like this, and we're asked to screw it in with 2 BM screws. Then we've got to add the ignition coil on the inside. Then we will be putting something into the, okay, it does actually make sense. Let's do this in the order it asks them. So, and I think we are missing a part as well. That's interesting. No, that part's there. Right, sorry, sometimes the instructions are slightly confusing. So let's get our BM screws. We need 2 of these, and sorry, it's when things aren't going right, it kind of knocks the wind out of your sails, and I'm wondering what's happening, and I've got to pick myself up on this build. I've lost a little bit of enthusiasm because of the parts that have gone wrong. Right, so that part is just put in just so it bites, and then we'll pop the second piece in, and I'm being careful because this exhaust pipe is very, very loose, and I've knocked it a few times, which hasn't helped. So this can go in really tight, and then I can finish screwing this part up. There we go, and that's fairly loose, so let's see if I can get a few more screws out of this and get that tightened. Again, I believe I said this about the other wheel arch, I'm not overly bothered by it being slightly loose because I know there's going to be parts coming across, but you do want to try and get it in as tight as you can. So I'm going to try a different screw head just in case. It may just be, I'm always quite happy to admit something might be my fault. It's very easy to blame the parts, and sometimes it's just that you're using the wrong equipment or you're doing something the wrong way, and that has given it a slight extra turn, but it hasn't made a lot of difference, so that's alright. It's not majorly bad. So the next thing then we want the ignition coil 36B, and that's going to go on. So we have 2 locating pegs and a screw hole, and you'll see on there's 3 holes, sorry. So what's going to happen is this coil is going to go onto there like so. So that's going through 2 of the holes, and then the 3rd hole we get ourselves a single DP screw. So let's just get one out of the bag. Oh, that's a surprise. Normally I get none, or I get nearly all of them. So, and that screw will go in there. Remember, this is going into plastic, so the screw will tell us when to stop. And there it is. So that coil is on there absolutely fine. Very happy with that one. So the next stage then, we want to get piece 12F, which is this piece. So 12F means it came from stage 12, which was 24 issues ago, and that's going to go in, and I'm trying to hold this in the same orientation as the magazine, and this wants to go in this way around. Does it want to go that way? Right. Ooh, that's an awkward fit. Yeah, right, there we go. So we're going to be looking at this. It's difficult with the black. We've got a screw hole there. Come on, focus. Let's move my light in a bit more. That's a lot better, isn't it? So we have a screw hole there and a screw hole there, and then we have 2 holes on the yellow there, and we just have to see that we've got 2 little recesses in there, and that's going to go around these 2 pipes, and that's, but we've also got to get it around the ignition coil, so it's probably easy to come in this way and then bring them down, and it's a little bit of a wiggle, but that will go in. Yeah, that's gone in absolutely fine, and that's going to be secured in with 2 GM screws. So M being metal, so we know we're going to be bolting this to the chassis, and that may also help stiffen all of this up a little bit. I am confident with the looseness. Remember that a cube is a very strong, basically a car is a cube, and we have the bottom, and then we have the 4 sides, and then we have the top. It's only when all 6 sides are in place that it's really, really strong. And as you can see, we've only got the 1 side in, and we're starting to build the other 2 sides up. So that's why it might be a little bit wobbly. So first screw in, and I'm only going to pop this in just enough to hold, and that, I am concerned, you know. Right, I think this is flat and level. I'm not sure if my my surface is flat and level, you see. Right, so this screw is going in, and that's gone in really nice and tight, and this one is gone in. There we go. I didn't think that one was going to make it. Right, so that's in nice and firmly. So right, so I'm happy with that fit then. So that's created a little bit of a flaw in the engine. Flaw as in F-L-O-O-R, not flaw as in a mistake. So that's starting to look good. So next up we want our what do they call it? A high voltage cable. Now we need to connect this to two areas, and I cannot remember how well these pipes went in before. So if you notice, we have this green part here, and we have a little cable connector exposed there, and then we have on the top of the ignition coil we have another one. So what we're going to be doing is we'll push that cable onto there, and that is very loose. You see, I'm not normally so bothered about the loose parts because we aren't actually going to be playing with it. If this was a play toy, I would be very concerned about that. Sorry, I've accidentally gone off camera then. But yeah, because this is a display model, I'm not really as concerned. And that cable's actually gone on really well, as you can see. So that is on. So next we need to right, so let's have a look at what we're dealing with now. So 35, right, so we have these two pieces that we made in issue 35, and I need to just orientate this the parts here. It's a little bit problem with the run, but we can make it. So with this little piece here pointing downwards, you see we've got this, and then this piece, we have two tabs at the bottom, and what's going to happen is that's going to connect like so. I think that's meant to go in there like that, and then it goes in. That does not want to go. I think that is meant to go all the way in. I'm a bit right. Okay, so I can see it's actually going to go at an angle, not at 90 degrees. You can see that the way it fits. So let's push. Frightened I'm going to break this. There we go. There we go. So it clips in, and you can see it doesn't go at a 90-degree angle. It does go at this funny angle. So what we need to do now, that's in there. So we're looking for two tabs, and I think that's them there. And yes, so right, I can see some recesses in here. So this recess there is going to be going over this pipe there. This recess there is coming over there, and this little recess there is for this pipe. So the pipe is going to be the hardest thing to manipulate. And in fact, actually the whole thing is. So right, so it's got to go down. You see, it's got to go over there, over there. The pipe has to go through there, and this tube there has to stick through the hole. So it might actually be easier. You see, you've also got some tabs there that are lining up. So you've got to kind of line all of this up all at the same time. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to push this roughly down, and I'm going to get that pipe in there. Once that pipe is in there, we can start to push it down, So I'm checking that this is going over the middle. The pipe there, it's covered that, no problems. This pipe, you can see the fuel pipe, it's a little bit too far over, so we will just move that across to go into the hole, and then we can just push down a bit more, and we just want to make sure that the tabs here and here are lined up. And that is a little bit loose at the moment, but I think that will all sort itself out once we get those screws in. Now there's two screws that we need. There are BM screws, which I have lost, and here they are. So two BM screws. So I'm just going to screw the first one in just enough to bite, and the second one again just enough to bite. And I apologize that my hand is in the way. So now we can check the fitting. I think that's in place. I'm rather confident there. So now we can proceed to tighten this up. Lovely. And we can tighten this one up. Again, I apologize, my hand's in the way. There we go. And yes, now this bottom plate, not this so much, but this bit is in very tight, so I'm very happy with that. So now we want to deal with the sides here. So we are after a total of 4 DP screws, and we'll begin on stage 7 where we want to bolt this in the side. So we will need 4, although we need 2 for this step, we will need 4 in total. So let's just have a little look on the side. So we should have some holes in the side there underneath, and what that's going to do is it's going to lock these two places together, and that should begin to stiffen everything up. Remember when I said about a box earlier on? So let's see what happens. Now that's located with something, so that makes me happy. And we'll drive this screw in just a little bit. That all seems like it's locating. So let's finish screwing these in. And it's a plastic screw, remember, so we need to listen to the screw. We won't tell it how far to go in, the screw will tell us. Oh, I've had enough now. And do you know what? Just like that, that wheel arch has stiffened up. So I am now extremely happy with this. So yeah, very, very happy. So on to stage 8. And we need to secure the same thing on the other side. And I can tell this is going to get covered up. And the way I know it's going to be covered up is because they've got an L on the side there and they've got the R there. They wouldn't make that bit exposed, would they? So that screw's only in just enough to bite, and then this one's in enough to bite. We can see that's all located in properly, and that's in tight, and that's in tight, and just like that, that wheel arch is in nice and stiff. So very, very happy now. And that is it. So it's not looking any more Fiat like, however it is starting to build up, and I've just dropped something. Oh dear. Right, sorry, that's just some parts I've got for somebody else. So yeah, again, it's not looking Fiat like, but we've got this engine compartment on the go, and I'm very happy with that. And that is the rear engine. Not really much to it, because there wasn't much to it in the actual car. Remember, it's only a 500cc engine. I've ridden motorbikes with larger engines than that, but that is really nice. Really happy with that. So I think I have gone from not liking this model so much to suddenly really enjoying it, because it's starting to come together. So I am very happy. So the next stage we will be doing next week, and some people will get very excited about this. It's going to be a circuit board. So I hope to see you in the next issue. Take care, guys. Bye bye.